I'm Elisabetta. Nice to meet you.
And I'm Alex. Really nice to meet you. We met briefly in Nice this summer, September, and you were so kind and shot a picture with us.
Yes.
Oh yeah, where was that? My race day media passing. Hello.
Yeah.
It was at the start of the race before the swimming. So thank you so much.
I'm in the same age group as you. I used to compete a few years ago, but when I was competing, so 2013, 14, 15. So it was the age group below then.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, these two age groups are super competitive, eh?
Yeah,
for sure.
So we saw that you competed in Lanzarote a few times, right?
Yeah, three times.
3 times.
Here. Yeah.
And
the toughest one.
Oh, yeah, and 2015 was my last race here, and the fittest I've ever been, and there was so much wind on that day. It was crazy, and everybody had not so great times, even the professionals. But I thought about, maybe do I do it again? I don't know.
Are you thinking of going back to racing?
Never say never, but at the moment, no. I was having this conversation with my girlfriend. My girlfriend's a professional athlete, and she races 70.3. And she's been injured for a while, and she's just getting back to fitness, and she's going to start competing again. Well, she was meant to start competing again 2 months ago, but and so I train with her. The problem is I follow her training plan, and I am dead. So we do the one thing that really tires me out is the swimming. I love it, and I've gotten now back to some good swim strength, but I'm just so tired after it. I had this conversation yesterday where the problem for me is you go swimming, you swim for an hour. I said, but during that time, your head's in the water, all you're doing is thinking, and all I'm thinking about is the work I'm meant to be doing back at home. And it's the same with the bike, I'm on the bike. Yeah, I'm always, and this is what happened in 2015, and the main reason why I stopped was I couldn't balance the training and the working. And I said, no, I need to do one or the other. I can't do, I was training like I was a professional athlete, and I'm not a professional athlete.
But you do live in Lanzarote right now.
Lived here, I'm coming up to 18 years here in Lanzarote. 18 years, yeah.
So what do you call home? Lanzarote or?
Oh yeah, no, definitely Lanzarote. Yeah, I've called Lanzarote my home for maybe 16 of those years. So a long time. So yeah, I moved here in 2002, and I discovered Ironman Lanzarote in 2005. I went to photograph it for a magazine, which I was working for, and I was doing some design work. And they said, "Oh, we're going to take some photos of Ironman Lanzarote." And I was not really into photography so much. It was more design. I went to the race. I found it just fascinating what I was seeing. And then I went back the next year. And then 5 years later, in 2010, I was the official photographer for the race. Yeah. But then 2 years later, I was so intrigued by it, I wanted to start training and start competing. And then, 2013, 14, and 15, stopped taking photos and started training and competing.
We enjoy the environment. We like to meet people. This is one of the reasons why we started doing these videos.
Exactly. Yeah, it was the same for me. The triathlon family was going to the races, meeting the same people. It was a worldwide social.
But yeah, exactly as you said, and especially like once we start doing races like the Kona and Nice and you start, you know, meeting people from other countries, some pros. And this is one of the reasons why I like you so much, is because even when you were talking to other people, other photographers, you always seems to be so loved by everyone and so kind.
Thank you so much for saying. I think it's important to know people from other countries. You know, I have friends all over the world now. In fact, I was just about to message a friend in Kona actually, but also with other photographers. I'm super good friends with a lot of photographers out there. I'm just preparing a project actually to like bring a few photographers together to work together. For example, on Instagram, you may have seen them on Instagram. There's a lot of motivational Instagram accounts that like to, let's say, borrow without paying for photography, professional photography, to promote their pages. And there's a lot of them where they're promoting their pages to sell merchandise. Mm-hmm. So essentially they're stealing to promote themselves. What I want to create is this hub for other photographers where we can, if a brand in Australia wants me to do a photo shoot in Australia, it'd be nice to go to Australia. What's the point when I can get a photographer in Australia who I know and trust to do the job, and it'd be quicker, cheaper, you know, and build a quality hub of media, like Talbot Cox doing video maybe. There's a friend of mine called Darren who's called That Cameraman, who does great stuff with Super League, you know, and bringing some key photographers together and working together as a team.
Well, actually, first, she wanted to ask you something, because what happens is that we are horrible on pictures.
Yes,
every
right.
time we race.
Every time we race, I look for, you know, through all the pictures, and I'm always, you know, awful. So, any suggestion to normal human being that are suffering during the race?
How to look good.
How to look good.
Yeah. The thing is the luxury the pros have is, for example, if I'm taking photos of pros, maybe I'm taking 200 photos of Lucy Charles running down the Queen K. I'm only going to probably have 3 or 4 that are really good. There's a certain place in the run dynamic that looks good. You may have seen photos where when your foot hits the
leg is horrible.
Yeah, exactly. And it's the same in swimming as well. Underwater, the water ripples the body. So you see things like this. Because I want these photos to be in magazines or for the athlete, I'm going to cherry pick the best photos. If you want to look good in a race, you take your own photographer.
Okay.
You look for me, and somebody comes up and says hello, strikes a conversation with me. I will probably, and if I see them in the race, now I know who they are. Maybe I will take a few shots.
Okay, so we'll see you in the next race.
Yes.
Yeah, so in the next race, if I'm there, let me know. Yeah, and
yeah. Actually, this is one of the questions we want to ask you. I mean, do you have any plan for? I mean, I don't think there are going to be any big races apart from Kona, right?
And the French races are still going to be on apparently from mid-August.
Yes.
So I think starting with Embrunman.
Yes.
Onwards. So maybe I'll go to France, do some races there. So plans? No, I just said, Sarah, we can't plan anything still. We have to wait. Yeah. So I work with a few brands such as Quintana Roo, Roca as well, and then Red Bull and a few athletes as well, probably maybe Lucy and maybe head there with Tessa Cortecas from here, from Lanzarote. But yeah, that's it so far.
So you're playing, so your big race next will be Kona, right? How many times have you been to Kona?
Twice.
And how did you find it?
Expensive.
Okay, that's it.
Apart from the humidity, it was very, very similar to here. Volcanic, hot. Well, let's see next year. You know, there's going to be two Konas.
Yeah.
Yes.
Does it
an
make a
expensive year.
difference to you in terms of like a work, Kona? I mean, did you find that in the last 2 years, Kona was like a big opportunity for you, or it was just like any other race?
It is a big opportunity. You do get to meet people who maybe you've had email contact or you've spoke on Facebook or Instagram, and so it was nice to see the faces behind certain brands.
Sure.
Meet a few new people. But it's kind of surreal when you get there, because especially the first time, because you see everything online.
Mm-hmm.
You know, breakfast with Bob.
Yes.
I went to the champions breakfast after the race. You know, Bob and I are quite good friends now. He always emails me for photos, and super nice guy. And just seeing the race and being in the race, it's not as big as you think it's going to be. It's kind of strange. It's like a surreal feeling about it. So this year I was working with Red Bull. Also, I was working with another photographer. But straight after the swim start, I would go to my car, parked in a street across from the energy lab, and basically waited in the volcanic area
Yeah.
for the bikes to come through, and then waited 4 hours for them to come back, 3.5 hours to come back. But the weird thing is, because I was watching it live on my phone, and you see what's happening, and then you can hear the helicopters coming along, and that's when you know where the race is, the lead.
Yes.
And then the helicopters come through. You know, you're taking all the photos, you're getting everybody, all the age groupers go past, and then there's nothing. And so when all the cyclists had gone past, 500 meters down the road was an aid station, and they were setting up. And so basically for at least 3 hours, I basically went and sat in the aid station, just drinking Cokes, just watching the live feed. You know, that's all I had to do. This is Annie Howe on the way out.
Uh-huh.
Show you this. This is where I was.
Spoiler. Red Bull.
Ah.
In front of the airport.
Oh, Sebi.
Serbia.
Yeah.
So in the days leading up to the race, I'm doing photo shoots. I did a photo shoot with Scott bikes, Quintana Roo bikes, and you're up and down the Queen Cave for maybe 10 days doing photo shoots. So you find little spots. Yeah. And so I'll remember it. And sometimes you'll put on the kilometers, if you're in the car, how many kilometers past the airport maybe. And here's a shot. Actually, this is Frodo. So this is when they're on the way back past me, just coming past the airport.
Ah, nice. Yeah.
That's amazing.
And you know, it's just surreal. You know, there's like the helicopter was literally above me. I'm sure I had some video with the helicopter above me. That's Frodo in the energy lab.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I stayed in the energy lab a little bit too long, and I had to hold the back of the scooter, the moped, with the bike to get back to the finishing line. I managed to just get back to the finishing line for Frodeno. So it was a nightmare to get back because of all the crowds. I had the bike. I had to take the bike to the hotel, to the press room, and then there's a little sort of walkway where the athletes walk past us to get back to get into the chill area.
Yeah.
And I just stuck my head through, and Frodo was just coming past me, and I just shouted. And then I got one of Annie as well, because Annie Haug was very understated. You know, I don't think anyone expected her to win. Yeah, everyone's looking at Lucy Charles, what Danielle is doing.
Either Daniela or Lucy.
Yes. Yeah. We stopped there at the finish line at midnight.
At midnight.
Oh, she was so nice. She was really, really nice.
Yeah, she's a super nice girl.
Apart from Lucy Charles, that we know that you love, and Reese Barkley, do you have any favorite pro that you like to work with?
Favorite pros? Well, I work with Patrick Langer quite a lot. Sebi as well, when he's training in Fuerteventura, in Playitas. They're all great to work with. Laura Phillip, I work with quite a lot. she's great to shoot. We have a good laugh. They're all great. They're all great. All different personalities. We always make photos, have a laugh, take a coffee. It's great fun. It's great fun.
They
I
are really
love my
down
job.
to earth. I think that they are really down to earth.
Yes.
Yeah, no, totally,
Yeah.
totally, 100%, 100%.
It's a sport
Yeah.
where even the stronger that you are, and then the humble you are. I mean, sometimes you see other sports where you can't reach them, but in triathlon, everyone is really, really nice. That's one of the nice thing about Kona. You got them all there. You can meet them all.
Totally. And did you see? I had an appearance on Breakfast with Bob actually.
I saw you.
And you know what? There was this guy. This guy was on before me.
Yeah.
Craig Alexander. And he was such a nice guy. We've met a few times, met a few races, and I said to him, because he was on before me, and I said, I can't believe, like, multi-world champion is doing the warm-up for me. He's doing the warm-up. But no, he's such a super nice guy. Eh? No, all good. No, I loved it.
You're gonna be there twice
February,
next year, so
Yeah.
you're gonna have fun.
Depends on the cash.
Oh,
Depends on the money. I need sponsors. I need more sponsors.
we'll try to help you with a few more viewers.
I need some cash sponsors.
Yes.
So Castelli. I mean, name drop. Maybe Budweiser could sponsor me.
Yeah, some Italian wine then. I'll ask some Italian winery to sponsor you.
Cheers. Cheers.
Listen, thank you so much for joining us, and it was a real pleasure meeting you and talking to you. You are really nice.
You're welcome.
I hope to see
You're
you.
more than welcome. More than welcome. I'm happy you've made the effort to call and have a chat.
Again, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And thank you. I can't say anything more. I hope
more
to
than
see you
welcome.
again soon.
See you at a race soon, hopefully.
Okay. Hopefully, yes.
Hopefully. All right. Good night. Thank you so much.
Ciao. Thank you.